Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another glorious episode of Jedi Talk. I am your host, Brad Hughes, and today I am joined by not the full council. Tom's not here, but I'll let him tell that story on next week's episode. It's been a wild day for him, so shout out to Tom. Hope you're doing okay, buddy. I know you had a rough day. Joining me, as always, on the opposite side of the table, a throwback podcast when me and Evan used to do a show by ourselves, the lovely, the wonderful, the kind of bearded Evan T. Boucher. What's going on, brother?
Hello there. Yeah, I mean, I feel like until about an hour ago, we had not much to talk about today.
I know.
But, I mean, the time really is irrelevant because this goes out on a later date. But we're sitting here Friday night, and, it's what, 9 o'clock?
Big
but, at
news hits.
7 o'clock, some stuff happened. So we'll have
Big
to
news
talk
hits.
about
So
that.
we'll talk about all the Hasbro Pulse. We're going to get into the shows. We're going to talk a little bit of the Hasbro Pulse stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to talk the Galaxy's Edge VR that you and me did over the last few days, which was
Yeah.
amazing. We'll get to that soon. And then we'll talk about the big story at the very end. But before we do that, something on the table I wanted to give you. I wanted to give it to you on the show because, I don't know, it fits. So open it up and let's see what it is.
I shall. It is very reminiscent of a shape that I am familiar with. So that is...
I don't even know if you have this or
That's
not.
what's throwing me off, because I'm like, I think he knows I have the thing that I think it is. If that makes sense. Okay, that is... Unless it's different. I do have that.
You have Sabak?
Yeah. It's
I thought
just
you
the
didn't.
standard one they sell at studios, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, open
okay,
it, though.
I do.
Open it.
Unless there's a difference.
There's a difference to this one.
Okay.
Look through the cards. I didn't know if you had it or not, and I didn't want to ask you because then it would kind of give it away what I did.
Right. Looking through the
This is a
cards.
custom Evan deck
What?
of Sabak.
Because the colors. That
I wrote the color on which one it is so you can play.
that is ridiculous. I see that on there now. That's the stupidest thing, but the
I
coolest
love
thing
it.
at the same time.
Yeah, man, I had to do it for you because I was like, I didn't
That is
even know if
funny.
you. The reason I didn't think you had it was because you were like, you couldn't see the colors, so I
Yeah.
assumed you didn't have it.
Yeah, like even now in here, I can't see the colors.
Well, it's hard with these fucking lights.
But
I can't see shit in here.
Like even in my house, when I've played it a couple times, I had to turn on every single light in the house.
Well, now you don't have to. Now you have your own custom deck.
That is hilarious. Well,
Because you're
thank you.
colorblind, and I wanted
Thank
you to be able to enjoy Sabak, and I got it because of the Star Cruise and all that stuff.
So that's the question I'm gonna have. Like, how are they gonna do that? Will there be a colorblind option in settings? Like that's
hoping
a half
since
serious
it's-
question.
I'm hoping since it's like holographic, you'll be able to see it better, maybe.
Maybe, but like video games have that. They have something that's called the Colorblind Assist.
Do they really?
I only know because I use it often.
Do they have it in the Galaxy's Edge VR?
I did not see it in there, but I didn't have any issues with any of that. But
Even though it was
color-
all green?
basically, yeah, it was like all green.
So it's just the difference between green and red?
And color wasn't like relevant to that game, you know. Like
That's true.
It
You don't
wasn't
need
like
it.
Grab the green wire. It's like, well, it didn't matter.
So I don't even know really what color blindness is. Like, what do you see? Do you see green like we see green? You just can't distinguish the two colors?
I think there's a wide spectrum with it, and with me, it's specifically any colors that are like close. If it's like a red that's close to an orange, or vice versa, to me, it's either red or orange.
Gotcha.
I'm not like that's red, iridescently orange, pink, or whatever
Gotcha.
the names are.
There's not like a middle ground. It's either
Yeah,
or.
with me, colors are like absolutes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the biggest story I have with that is, I think I might have told you this, but it's probably 10 years ago now, maybe more-ish. We were adding on to the house back in Indiana, and we were spray painting lines in the grass for like power lines and like sewage lines and stuff, so we wouldn't dig into them. And the grass, it was summertime in Indiana, so it's like 100, no rain, no water. So the grass is like crunchy and brown, and we're using like green spray paint. So my dad sprays out the lines, and my job is to go along these lines and put flags in the ground so we can also visualize the setup. So he's like, just put the flags along these green lines. And I'm like, what green lines? And he's like, you're standing
Just
on it. It's
can't
just
see
right
it.
there. I'm like, I don't see any green lines.
Is that how you knew you were colorblind, or was it before that?
I think that was my like definitive, like, it's official. I'm colorblind.
Gotcha.
But
How old were
before
you?
then, that 10 years ago-ish. So
Okay, so you're like
high
15?
school, like, yeah, well, 15 to 18, somewhere in there. But that was my
Oh, wait,
like,
you're almost 30,
definitive-
aren't you?
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
30's rough one. That was a rough one for me.
Yeah, it's rough for everybody. I mean, in different ways.
It felt weird not being in my 20s anymore.
That is going to be weird. I think I worked the other day, had somebody say, wow, you're almost 30. And I was like, oh,
You're like,
yeah.
oh, and you hear it,
I
and you're
am.
like, God.
Yeah. It's like I am almost 30.
It's weird. Right, while we're already kind of talking, let's talk about the Galaxy's Edge VR. So explain how we got to play this.
We got very, very lucky that just by happenstance, I don't even know how I discovered that Taylor's sister has an Oculus, and how we found out she has the Star Wars game, Tales from Galaxy's Edge, but somehow it came up in conversation, and I was like, can I just play that next time I go to your house then? Because I don't have it, and I don't know if I can afford it, but I would love to play it because of the obvious reasons, because it's Star Wars, because it's Galaxy's Edge, like I have to know all that stuff, and because there's High Republic stuff in the first edition at the very least.
It's like kind of everything all in one.
Yeah, it covers a lot. So I was lucky enough to play it for like 2.5 hours ish when I went to their house a couple weeks ago, and I didn't finish the game, and they saw how much I liked it, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna come to your house, and like, you know, my house. They're like, we'll come to your house. I've been here in like a week, so we'll bring it with us, and you can keep it for like 3 or 4 days, and when we go back home, we'll take it with us, of course. So they brought it back, and I held on to it for the weekend. I played 3-ish more hours probably, and then I brought it over to you, and you played 3 hours?
2 or 3 hours, yeah. It was so fun, dude.
Yeah, and we are not gamers at all. And we did have it set on like easy, but it's still it's not too hard to figure out.
It's intuitive.
Yeah, it's
the
weird.
only thing I have issues with is like when you're like turning it, the triggers feel weird. Like it's not, because it's not set in your hand.
Yeah,
like a controller, you don't need to like move this way.
Right.
So it stays stationary, so you can always feel the triggers.
Yeah.
This one, when you're moving stuff around and like you're looking and trying to shoot, it kind of gets confusing which one's the trigger, because there's two. That was my only issue with it.
Yeah, each hand has 2 triggers.
Yeah.
There's one for your pointer finger and one for your like index or middle finger. I don't know why I blanked there. So there's one for your pointer finger and one for your like middle finger / ring finger. So the middle finger / ring finger is for like holding objects, and then the pointer finger is for your trigger. If you're wielding a gun or wielding your like wielder, it's called the all kit. It's got like a electric thing on it. It's got like a blowtorch on it and like a screwdriver or a drill.
Yeah.
And basically,
and that's like all the puzzles in the game are done.
Yeah,
with
and
that.
I usually hate puzzles in games.
They're fun,
but I kind of like those. Those are like a fun little like change of pace.
Dude, I don't understand VR. Like, I don't understand.
We can't wrap our heads
I don't
how
understand how like a screen in front of your eyes can give you that field of depth.
Right, because
like,
this thing it's the Oculus Quest 1. It's the older one. The second version is coming out this year. It's out now, actually. But this one is just literally a screen 1.5 inches away from your eyeballs. That's it. It's not tethered to anything. There's no sensors around your house. It's just the thing on your head and the 2 things in your hands. I have no idea.
It's nuts, dude. Like I only other VR I'd ever done was the Void when it was at Disney Springs, and I loved that. And that was a little bit more immersive because you actually had to walk.
Right.
And like you would look down and
Yeah.
But as far as like, dude, standing in your living room and playing something, it felt like a different world. Like, I actually almost freaked out a little bit because you were. It's almost even like because you were there watching me, and when you have the headset on, you can hear audio.
Yeah.
And it's so realistic sounding that like you'll hear something, and you'll turn around and like what the weird thing is like you just your living room is transformed into Batu.
Yeah.
And I got so into it at one point that I literally I doing. I told you this. I was like, "Oh my god, dude, it freaked me out."
Yeah, I was watching you do it too, and it was
because you kind of like set the parameters with this. Like, it almost feels like a spray paint tool on when you first set up to
like your circle.
Yeah,
your,
and
like,
that's your field of play. So you can kind of move around with that, and knows you. If you go outside that, it kind of breaks the virtual reality, and puts you can kind of see like a black and white grainy version of reality.
Yeah.
So you don't like hit something. You kind of mark where you're playing, which is why you don't need the sensors and all that kind of crap, which is really genius. But I was doing a puzzle, and it was really quiet because I was focusing and you were doing whatever you were doing, and I got done with it, and I literally because I literally bent down and was like doing something like while bending down, which changes the elevation of what you're looking at, which is wild. It's so crazy. And the thing opens, like the chest opens, and I like literally start to walk around as if I'm walking through. Like that's how immersive it is. Like it's insanely immersive. Like I loved the whole thing. I want to beat the game. I want to buy a VR and play it. And I could. I'm not a gamer, but I could lose a lot of my life playing VR games.
Yeah, and
It's
I could
so cool.
replay this one because I haven't seen spoilers. I didn't watch playthroughs, but from everything I've gathered, I'm like 90% of the way done with it.
Oh, really?
So I'm closer than I thought, and I would definitely go back and replay it just for the hell of it.
It's just fun.
And the second one is already out now, and it's like $10, so I would definitely buy that and play it.
I can't believe how cheap it is.
That's the crazy part.
Like a standard video game is. I mean, I
60,
downloaded
$80.
Sora for Smash Brothers this week, and that was $7.
Yeah.
So for $3 more, I could have had a whole friggin' VR game.
Yeah, but
That's
then you
what?
like if you buy like a console and then you go buy like Madden or whatever, that's like what
60?
Yeah, like insane.
It's wild.
Yeah.
VR is
And-
awesome, man.
And then Vader Immortals, another $10, but still
Yeah.
you're talking $30 to get
Three Star Wars immersive.
Star Wars fully immersive stories.
The only thing I didn't like about the Galaxy's Edge thing was the teleportation mechanic.
Right. Instead of
hated
walking
it.
around,
I
you're not,
hated it.
and it's not literally teleportation.
No.
It's worded badly because
It's how you move in the game.
Yeah, it's you point to an area, and when you let go of your point, you jump there.
But whenever you're like in the middle of a fight and you're trying
Oh,
to turn
yeah.
around,
It's so hard.
it
There was times where I would like jump accidentally right on top of 3 Guavian Death Gang guys, and they would just shoot me in the head.
yeah.
And I'm like, well, I didn't mean to come here, but
I didn't
you guys killed
like
me.
that mechanic. I hope they fix that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's really like the only complaint.
We had a bunch of buggy issues though for a minute too. Remember, I spawned wrong.
That's true. Yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah, that's true.
I loved it. It was so fun. And we were talking about this while you were here that day. It was like it's almost more immersive than Galaxy's Edge in a weird way.
Yeah, a lot of it is. Well, because you're not seeing people in Mickey ears, and you're
Yeah.
not seeing T-shirts and balloons and helicopters flying over above.
It's
You know?
weird.
But also, like, you're picking up stuff. I don't. Yeah, it's weird to say what is and what isn't immersive about it, but
We talked about this a little bit, but so where is this on the canon timeline?
well, the main
Parallel
storyline
to-
of it is, if you've read I know you have, but if our listeners have read Black Spire, it's like right then and there, right around the same time as Black Spire.
Because the Falcon's there.
Yes, that's
So-
one of the cool parts. Is
Yeah.
you see, even though I'm still not sure why there's a cantina right there, but there's a cantina in the game. These aren't spoilers, but we
This
could
game's
spoil
been
it.
out for like 2 years.
That's true. So there's a cantina in the game that overlooks the Falcon and Docking Bay 7 and the backside of Oga's. It's basically like up where Hondo was for Media Day.
So is there like a building up there that shows this?
There is. I mean, I'm sure you've been there since you played it.
No,
but
I haven't actually.
No?
No.
I was
Well,
there.
that's not true. Actually, yes, but I didn't look.
You
And
didn't, like,
I
specifically.
wasn't thinking. We walked through Galaxy's Edge. We walked into the docks.
There
and
is a
left.
building there, and it does have like a rounded turret-looking place that could be, but the windows do not match at all. So I don't
Gotcha.
know if that's just a miscommunication or if they just said, good
Afterthought.
enough. Yeah. So like that's fine. I don't really care. The windows don't match, but there could be that building
Interesting.
there.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But it was fun. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to dig into that second one where I get to hang out with
Yeah.
Doc Ondar. That's the one that's
And the
interesting
second
to me.
one, it's in the trailer. The First Order is in it. So the first one, there is no First Order. And these are spoilers, but it's been out for like 2 years now. The Resistance are just starting setting up their base.
Is
and
this in the game?
Yeah, you didn't get to
Okay.
that point in the game yet, but like the Resistance, you hear about them and
Oh,
how
really?
they're just now setting up.
That's so cool. Yeah, I didn't get very far in the game. I got basically like halfway through the first part of it.
I would say there's like 3 main segments, maybe 4, and you did like most of one segment.
Gotcha. It's really fun. Like
yeah.
I love having the dual wielding guns, and like I didn't really think about it because you are holding like a game controller in a way,
Yeah.
which I hope that goes away. I hope that like games can like come
you could
with
just
like
buy
with, like,
something
a
that looks
gun.
like a gun.
yeah, and you just feel it and boom, 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 and it interact like that.
That would be cool. That would be
That'd
very
be
cool.
really fun.
Yeah.
And make sure they're fake. Whoops.
Yeah. But I mean, as long as
Yikes.
you would know they are.
Well, you
Yeah.
know the story, right? You heard about.
Well, yeah.
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 That's a rough one.
But then like the things, well, for one, like I suck at a lot of video games, and especially shooting and aiming in games. I am always a terrible shot, but I was a better shot in this VR than I am in like
Well, it's natural.
Halo
It felt
and, like,
accurate.
yeah. And I'm sure they have it built in where like even if you miss by a couple inches, they'll just give it to you, depending on your setting too, because we were
Yeah.
on easy. But the shooting, I was way better shot, so that was nice. That helped a lot. But there's things too, like in like the caves and stuff, the lights. We both pointed them out, and like when I was on Batu this week, it looks just like a light, from the tunnel they put into the game.
It's really cool.
And the boxes are all the same. They have like the Savi's looking boxes.
Yeah.
And the Dakandar Legacy Saber looking boxes.
I noticed this too, like those crates you kind of walk in at that one point.
Yeah.
Or like what you see in Docking Bay 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. It's a really fun, it's a cool way to do Batu, and I'm hoping with the second one there's some reason for his X-Wing to be a different
I hope they do. That would be funny if that's how they explained it. Just be like, I had a second one that was painted.
I just wouldn't even be like, yeah, we painted it because they thought it was destroyed and we were trying to hide so they wouldn't know it was like
something. Yeah,
something. Give me a reason.
I mean, I didn't really care, and I didn't know I really needed this answer. But in this first one, you help out. It's in the trailers and stuff, so it's not spoilers really. But you help out Mubo from the Droid Depot, and it's like a throwaway line. He's like, yeah, go help me find my new like custom what's he call them, prototype droids. So it's like that's why when you buy them on Batu, they're only 10 inches tall instead of 3 feet tall. You know, it's not a full-size R2-D2 you're building. But I didn't really care or need that reason. But then I play the game, and it's Mubo is making them that way himself. He's making and selling small droids. I'm like, all right, that I didn't care, but cool.
And they're cool because, like, when you're walking through, you collect them to bring them back to him.
Yeah.
And they kind of have their own, like, sounds and looks to them.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Later in the game, too, I love this. It's like a great joke. He's like, you know what? Maybe I can just have the people that come in, I can have my customers build these themselves. It's genius. I can charge them to build them themselves for themselves. And I'm like, that's clever. I see what you did there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get the opportunity to play this, I would highly, highly recommend anyone playing it.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a Star Wars fan. Like, it's just cool VR. It's just good VR game.
And this one, I mean, it's weird because, yes, obviously it's in Galaxy's Edge and it's got a High Republic segment and that and all, but, like, it doesn't feel overly Star Wars. It part of it just feels like a sci-fi game.
Yeah, it does.
So you got blasters and you're shooting bad guys.
Yep.
You know, like that could be Halo, that could be Call of Duty 85.
I wish you walked a little faster.
Yeah. And you
But
got a jetpack in some of it too.
I think it's VR though, and that would get because I know when I first started playing it, all the movement, I was like, oh, it kind of takes you a second to get adjusted. I was nauseous for the first few minutes.
Yeah, I don't get motion sickness, but yeah, you do have to get like acclimated.
I don't really get. It was almost more like vertigo for me, where it's like you kind of can't. It's like your brain can't process what's happening.
Yeah.
You're like, I feel like I'm moving, but I'm not moving.
Yeah, and we didn't get to it for you, but the High Republic segment it's the highlight of it for me. It's all great, but that was like the best part. And that one I played a little bit in my house, just completely by myself. Taylor was at work, so I was there by myself playing it, and it gets creepy when you're by yourself.
It does.
I don't do scary movies, scary games, or anything.
I cannot wait to play horror games.
A horror game would be great on that because the High Republic section was kind of creepy and scary.
Really?
So yeah. So if you do a horror game on that, it'd be insane.
I should have brought this up at the beginning. I think I did. I don't get how they do that. Feel like like when the game first comes on and you see like the screen and the X-Wings go by.
Yeah.
Like how does that work? It's so
I have
wild.
no clue how it all works.
I guess I did bring it up a little bit, but
all
right, let's move on to the next thing to talk about here. PulseCon was today, Hasbro PulseCon 2021. They announced a lot of upcoming Hasbro stuff with Black Series Vintage Collection, and they also did some pre-sale stuff today, including the Rancor HasLab project, which was interesting. We'll talk about that in a second, but I'm going to go through everything that released, and then I'm going to ask you what you're interested in, what you don't care about. And this is a mixture of Black Series and the Vintage Collection. So let's go ahead and jump on into this here. First thing, the Vintage Collection, the Mandalorian Navarro Cantina playset. And by the way, unless I say otherwise, these are all available for pre-order now. And some of them have sold out, like Cobb Vanth.
Not surprised.
I got one. I have a story about it too. We'll get to that in a second. I was able to get them.
Okay. Well, so it has a good ending.
So this is the Vintage Collection, the Mandalorian Navarro Cantina playset, the Vintage Collection Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Vintage Collection Clone Wars Ahsoka Tano, the Vintage Collection Phantom Menace Padawan Anakin, and the Vintage Collection Phantom Menace Mace Windu. Now, those are repacks of previously released figures, and in particular, the Ahsoka one goes for like $700-800 in that ballpark for a one on card. Yeah. It's a wildly popular figure. I don't know why it's so popular, but it is for whatever reason. The Vintage Collection Rebel Fleet Trooper 4-pack, and that's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. The Black Series Mandalorian and Grogu Maldo Kreese, Target exclusive. The Vintage Collection Mandalorian and Grogu Maldo Kreese, Walmart exclusive. So the Black Series of that is going to Target. The Vintage Collection of that is going to Walmart.
Now, is the Maldo Kreese, is that the snow planet? Is that
Yes,
what that
that's
is?
the, like the
when they fight the Krinkas.
The packaging looks cool,
Okay.
but I don't think I care. How many
I don't really
Mandos are we
either.
going to get? Like,
Well, that's another thing I
like
was
Tom
gonna
said,
say, like,
what? Come on.
Yeah. Another thing, too, is obviously they're not going to stop because in December we get the Book of Boba Fett, but I'm sick of Boba Fett's.
Yeah.
Like, we've got 45 different Boba Fett figures.
They're never going to stop. He
No,
always
especially
sells
with
out.
his show now. It's
Yeah.
like, I didn't care about the character really at all, and then I kind of almost liked him in Mandalorian. I did like him, but I was never like, I have to have his merch. Give me his merch. But now that they're beating me over the head with it, I'm like, I'm sick of this Boba Fett.
I think it'll be cool once you see different looks, because up until now it's just been different paint jobs on
Yeah.
Boba Fett, and like sometimes they're like, now the exception to this for me was the one they did for the Droid show.
Right. That's a lot.
I love
different.
that. I got the vintage and the black collection.
That's
black
way
series
different.
Of that. I
It's
love
a completely
that.
different style.
And yeah, but I mean, how many fucking Boba Fetts can you do? But
Yeah, I'm
the
just
new look
tired
for
of
Boba
it.
Fett looks cool. Like in the retro collection, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, man. Like, I bet you it's the most done action figure
By
in all of
far.
Star Wars.
And then we have people
Except
that
maybe Luke, because there's X-Wing Luke,
I would
Padawan
love
Luke.
to look into it and see how close it is. I bet it's pretty close.
I bet I'm gonna take it back and say it's Luke, but I bet you it's really close.
Yeah.
I bet you
But
it's
the
pretty
thing
close.
is, it feels like it's Boba, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
When it feels like some random side character has more figures than the main character of all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It should not be that way.
Yeah, man.
And I don't even like Luke that much. So like that's how you know.
The Black Series Mandalorian Cobb Vanth, got that one pre-ordered. The Black Series Migs. Oh, I ordered a Ahsoka Tano too. The Black Series Migs Mayfeld. So they give him his.
Yes, I love.
Did we
that
know
one.
his name was Migs?
Yeah, they've said it like once in the whole show. Yeah,
I never caught.
we
that.
always just call him Mayfield or Bill Burr.
Yeah. Morak, and that pre-orders are coming later this year. I thought I missed that and panicked. The Black Series Boba Fett on Tython. Jesus Christ. Pre-orders coming later this year. This is where it gets interesting to me. FX Elite Leia Organa lightsaber.
I just saw that there. I mean, it looks almost just like Doc Ondar's.
I feel like they are the same.
They really are.
Everyone always talks like how much better the dude. Everyone was talking all about how much the Darksaber from Hasbro was way better, and then everyone got it, and everyone was disappointed.
I can't even see the difference. If you put him
there's
in front
more
of me
black
right
on
now,
the blade.
No,
That's it. And then like the
That-
paint job's slightly
that's
different. Dude, and that one's like $150 more.
I was gonna say which one's
There's
cheaper.
no
That's
way.
the one that's better
There's
to me because I can't tell the difference.
yeah, there's really
So,
not much difference. And,
no.
it's
Because
just,
even with their Leia one, you have to have. There's two different pieces for their Leia.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it's not any different.
I don't think you can get around that.
No,
Unfortunately,
you can't. You can't.
You just physically can't. I mean,
Yeah.
it has to have a place to lock
The
in.
blade's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, unless they can figure out like some sort of magnet technology
Well,
where
I
you
take
can
that
like
back.
stick
Like,
it on there and you can.
You can, but not for a reasonable price. Because my friend has a Leia that has the thin neck.
Well, I guess
and
all you'd
the-
have to do is just make a specific blade for the Leia one
Yeah.
that's more narrow.
Yeah, and that's where the money is. That's
Yeah.
where, So
I
for a
get it.
reasonable price, you can't do it.
How if they were going to sell Mando the Darksaber blades at
Just the
Savi's?
blade by themselves.
Not Savi's.
At
Yeah, Doc's.
Well, because if that's the case, I would have been willing to buy just the hilt of the Darksaber by itself.
Yeah,
In a smaller box, even.
I would love that.
That would have looked so much better. They might have got me on that if they did that. I say might have, but you know how I am. That means yes. That means they would have got me on that. I can never tell the difference between whatever they call the Hasbro sabers or the Pulse sabers, whatever, versus the Legacy sabers at Doc Ondar's.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading something there. So anyway, sorry, I'll edit that out. Sorry, dude, I was completely
good.
spaced out. Galaxy's Edge First Order Mouse Droid, R5 Astromech Droid, General Hux, and AT-AT Driver Pack Disney Parks / Shop Disney exclusive coming later this year. I love that.
That's like one of the only General Hux things ever.
Ever. There's never been a
there's been no figures of him.
Nope.
Because I was just thinking, like we just said 85 Boba Fett's, but we have no General Hux. Like, how do we not have a retro, vintage, or black series?
Nothing.
Of General Hux.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
But Zori Bliss and
Right. Yeah. There's so many
Jana.
other weird characters. Janna has a Black Series figure before Hux. I don't.
It's very
I don't know.
strange.
Hux has a freaking animatronic. You know, like.
Yeah. Right.
Like yeah, like that.
It's a weird one.
You know what too though? We should also get a Rise of Resistance Finn figure. That would be cool. It's basically First Order Finn. Basically,
with
it's like Episode 7 Finn, but different hair. So they'd be so easy to repackage.
That'd be cool.
Just redo that.
You could just do a head sculpt on a
different
stormtrooper.
Head sculpt, yeah.
Another Galaxy's Edge K7R1 CB23 Pit Droid Babu Frick Battle Droid pack coming to Disney Parks and Shop Disney later this year as well. And then a creature pack featuring Minok Porgs Boggling and Monkey Lizards pack also coming to Shop Disney and the parks here.
Yeah.
And then the big news was the Rancor. This is pretty interesting too because it runs from October 22nd today through December 6th. And what do you know the price of it?
No, I don't.
What do you think it is?
For the Rancor.
For the Rancor HasLab project. Do you know what the other ones were? What they cost?
No. What was the last one? The Razor Crest?
The last one was the Razor Crest, and I think that one was $350, but it came with like.
Oh, holy cow. I was going to undershoot it then.
It was $5 for the sail barge. That came with like some exclusive figures, and that one's huge.
Well, I was going to say.
And remember, this is Black Series, so it's a bigger scale.
Right. But I was going to say like $200 for this Rancor, but I feel like that's low now, knowing what you just said.
It's pretty low.
That what I just said is low?
Yeah, that's lower than what it is.
$500 for the Rancor?
$350.
Okay, $350.
Not horrible. I thought it was going to be around $500.
Yeah.
Because it is Black Series.
Yeah.
Now, it all kind of depends on what they do with it. I don't know. It's
what's funny with those like bundles
I keep
that you were
spacing
just
out.
about.
What the hell is wrong with me? I'm so tired.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're exhausted.
Jesus, man.
It's funny with those bundles though that you were talking about. How they call them like they say Batu or Galaxy's Edge or whatever, but like half of those figures don't even relate to Batu.
Half the figures what?
Don't even relate to Batu.
Oh, I know.
Like, yeah.
The monkey losers only do it because they sell the plush.
Yeah, and they're. I don't think you got to see them yet, but they're in the game too. Oh yeah, you did. Cause
I shot
them.
them.
You gotta shoot them.
I was like, are these things aggressive?
You have to too. I thought that same thing. I'm like, I don't want to shoot them. They're just animals.
They kind of like making them in Star Wars, like making them like varmints. Because remember in the Mandalorian, they're roasting them on the spit
right in front of another one. I feel like they're almost sentient though, so it's really messed up.
I think only one was because all the other ones kind of just like. I mean, it's like Meowth in Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, because even when you see them in Resistance, like they have no personality. It's just they're animals, so it's like it's still weird. Like I don't know. I wouldn't want to cook a chicken right in front of a chicken. You know? Like,
no.
Yeah.
Oof.
Now I like to eat chicken, but like it's just the ethics of it. You know, it's weird.
So, are you gonna do the HasLab project? Are you gonna get the Rancor?
No, definitely not.
Not even to like resell later because
no,
they're gonna go
even
for money?
if like there wasn't the Halcyon to be paying for or anything else, the Rancor just doesn't interest me that much. And also, where am I gonna put that?
I think they're gonna do something special with it, dude. The packaging and stuff is so sick on these, and they've never done a Black Series one before.
Do you just leave it in the box and then use that box as a coffee table, or like?
It would look good out here.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You have to have a place.
It would look good out here, man.
It would look good out here.
It would look sick out here. I don't know. I'm debating on it. I was kind of hoping it would be like a mini playset. Like it'd be like I was hoping it'd be like the Rancor playset.
Yeah, like
and
the
if they did
barge,
it for $500,
playset,
I'd be fine with the $500 because you'd give other things. But they're just saying it's like a 45 points of articulation Rancor, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to recreate the scene from Return of the Jedi,
but if somebody's
you can
probably
literally
gonna keep
do
it in the box, like I just want
to.
I just want cool shit with it.
Yeah. If it was a playset, what do? You do Luke and a Gamorrean guard, and then is that it? Because I mean,
Luke
that's
with
still good.
Yeah. Was the accessory in the figure?
Yeah. Do you do
have the fat guy?
I was gonna say I forget his name, but do you do the Rancor trainer, the Rancor owner? I've known it too in the past. But are you gonna look it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
As soon as you say it, we'll both be like, yeah, that guy, the guy that's so sad when he sees it dead at the end of the scene. Definitely, you have to give
Malakili?
I think so.
No.
Maybe I didn't know it.
Hang on. Yeah, it's Malakili.
Okay.
Malakili.
And that could justify the price, because have they ever made him as a Black Series?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think they made him in the 90s as one of the
Power
smaller
Force
figures.
ones?
Yeah. I think I saw him
sure.
then.
Oh, they made every friggin' figure back then.
Yeah.
I mean, George Lucas, Anakin Skywalker from the original trilogy has a figure.
Yeah. That's
It was
crazy.
pre-sequel.
The
to
original
Anakin.
Force Ghost,
Yeah.
the older one. Yeah. But yeah, that'd be another one that they could do a Black Series of instead of another Boba Fett. Like and that would be a good play set. Give it Luke, Gamorrean Guard, give it him. Like there you go, and then you can justify that price. That gives you 3 figures plus the giant Rancor.
Yeah.
And one of those is an exclusive figure. So yeah.
Yeah.
And you could even jack it up a little bit. Jack it up to 400. And you could really justify it.
Because I don't mind spending more if I'm getting more, but
Yeah.
this is gonna be a tough one for me because like I do have the Halcyon to do, and I have other things I need to pay for,
Yeah.
and it's like I almost wish it was vintage collection.
That'd be cool too.
I forgot to mention on that list the Emperor Palpatine throne room.
That's been out for not out, but that's been
announced for a while.
for so long. I feel like it's already out.
I know it was.
feel like
they got announced forever ago.
And that's like top of your list, right? Like that's the one you.
That's the one I really
have.
wanted. That and the Cobb Vanth.
Yeah.
And the Bill Burr one, of course.
Yeah. If they were selling Hux by himself out of that, I would want to get that. I'm not too intrigued by the whole set.
Even though it's got the R5 from Rise?
Yeah, I don't know. Not
You
too
love
big
Rise.
on it. I haven't bought any of the big packs like that from Galaxy's Edge. I didn't buy any of them.
I haven't either. Tom has the Rey and Chewie one, I think.
They did one with Kylo. They did one with Rey and Chewie. Was Hondo on the Rey and Chewie one?
Yes.
Okay, so they
Rey, Chewie, Hondo, Porgs.
Okay, yep. So they did that one. Then they did
Did you ever
Kylo and
see
Troopers. I think
the Vintage Collection Smuggler's Run Falcon.
Yeah. That thing's cool.
That thing is awesome.
I've seen it at some of the conventions we've gone to.
Yeah, that one retailed at like $5.
Jeez. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that means that's up to what, like 5 Galaxy's Edge packs now, counting the 3 you just said? The Creatures one.
Remember they had the one with Commander Pyre.
The Pyre one. Was Pyre with
First
Kylo?
Order, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So they had those 2 initially. Then they had the droid one that had C-3PO, R2-D2, and
Right.
DJ Rex.
Right.
So then these 2 other ones. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the multi-packs.
Me neither. And I love DJ Rex, and I love Kylo, and even I really like Pyre too, but I didn't buy any of those. I've bought DJ Rex by himself. I've bought Kylo by himself. I've bought, not Black Series, but I bought figures of Pyre by himself.
See, I need to get that one. I don't have him. He's one of the ones I really, really want.
It's not in any of this packaging, though. It's in like a specific Resistance, the TV show cartoon packaging. It's really strange.
It's Black Series?
No, it's kind of the same scale here, the retro and vintage
Oh,
scale.
well, they have a Black Series Pyre.
Oh, they did?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I would like that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
probably
cool.
like $50 now. But
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Whenever you can't find a figure, it's never a good sign.
I think they might have had that one at the antique. No, because I was talking with you on the phone, and if it was there, you would have wanted it. Yeah, so it wasn't at the antique store.
Interesting.
I need to go back there soon. I'm thinking in a week or two.
I'm scared to go.
You're scared to go?
Yeah, I just
drop like
can't.
$500.
I just can't. Like I easily could, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. I don't need the temptation.
Yeah.
I don't need to. All right, let's talk about this. This is gonna be a shorter show than normal, just for the record, guys, because we're both exhausted, and I want to go to bed, and I have to go to the freaking Tampa Zoo tomorrow.
Whoa. Why? What's going on at Tampa Zoo?
Tomorrow is Johnny and Chrissy's anniversary, so we're going to Tampa, and he actually got us they got us a hotel up there so we can babysit all 4 kids.
Oh, dang.
And we're going to go to the Tampa Zoo and go to some cool restaurants and stuff around there. And we got to get up relatively early to go do that. And as someone who had 4 hours of sleep last night and has been working all day, I'm about tired. I'm done.
I haven't been to a zoo in like a decade.
I go to Animal Kingdom every week.
Well, I mean, I go to Animal Kingdom a lot.
Not a
but
zoo.
Yeah, it's not a zoo. It was a catchphrase they had.
All right, let's talk about the big news. This is something we could probably talk about for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like to get Tom's take. And I actually am reading the post from the Fourth Mother Box Podcast Facebook page. Go check that out. Check out Fourth Mother Box. Great show. Maybe skip this last week because it's the same episode we put out. So unless you want to hear the same thing twice, I would just say no. But go subscribe.
To it only on theirs or only
on
ours?
ours.
Like, unless you have 7 hours of your life.
Yeah, you want to listen to the same thing twice for no reason.
Yeah.
But this is huge. So rumors were floating around earlier today that Anakin was coming back for the Kenobi series, and which we knew, but now also for the Ahsoka show.
Right.
And then Rosario Dawson on Instagram posted. I didn't see the actual post. I'm just looking at the picture that Tom put up.
Well, and then what was it? Comicbook.com or something?
Yeah,
also?
was reporting about it, and then she posted on Instagram. I get tagging him in it.
Yeah,
and said they know. See you soon, and then snips.
Yeah, or Sky Guy something. She said Sky Guy. They know. Or
Oh,
something.
that's right. I thought that was like her screen name or something.
No,
whoops. Sky Guy.
And
they
it's a
know.
picture of her and Hayden at some premiere somewhere.
Something
for not Star Wars because they've never been in a Star Wars scene together.
And
yet.
he looks. It looks recent. What's up with the veins in his head?
Yeah, I don't know if that was like edited or, but then she deleted it.
Or he's
too.
like laughing. It was like they were laughing, so it could be that.
But she deleted it since then. That lasted like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was deleted.
AKA Disney called and said, "Hey,
yeah,
what are you doing?"
Yeah. Can you at least wait for Obi-Wan? To that.
Well, this is confusing because we all assumed, and maybe this was wrong of us to assume, but we all assumed that the Ahsoka Tano show, because they casted Rosario Dawson, who's an older actress, not someone super young, that they were going to be doing
Mandalorian time frame.
Ahsoka. Sequel
especially
time period.
Because the one episode she's in, she's like hunting down Thrawn, and like that's the name drop of that episode.
Yeah,
and like a backdoor pilot for
which
her
is what
own
I
series.
want. I would rather see that than more Clone Wars shit.
Unless, like we said earlier amongst ourselves, unless this is giving us what the prequels should have been.
Yeah,
with an Anakin story of like true downfall, and he gets his Padawan, and then
is that what you want to see though? Like, in all seriousness, is that what you want to see? Just more of that same shit? You had 7 years to tell that story.
Yeah, I'd like to see it done better, though. I mean,
how much of it do we need? That's where I kind of go. Like, would it be cool to see it? Yeah, it'd be cool to see it. Yeah. But I want to keep pushing it forward. Let's keep pushing it forward. Yeah. And it doesn't even need to be like sequel forward. Just get out of that time period.
I mean, this kind of even
so much Star Wars shit takes place in that time period. It drives me insane. Probably maybe because I just don't like it as much. Because
some of it is you don't like it as much because that's all we have. Yeah, and it's like you want more.
Every animated show except Resistance is taking place in that.
Yeah,
time
Bad
period.
Batch is basically the same.
It is the same thing. Yeah, it's the same era.
It starts at the end
between
of it,
3 and 4.
Continuation of it.
It's between 3 and 4. It's all the same time period.
Yeah.
Rebels, Clone Wars, the prequels themselves, Rogue One. Like, can we please?
Yeah.
Please get out of this time period.
Yeah.
But
it goes against. I feel like what Kathleen Kennedy said, how like they're focusing on the future of Star Wars. They're going forward, but like everything is going back to the same time period.
Yeah, which kind of makes you think they could have themed Batuu to the original trilogy and been just fine.
Yeah. I mean, there's concept art. We've all seen it and talked about it of the original trilogy, Batuu. Concept art of it. Yeah. With original trilogy Stormtroopers.
Well, that stuff was up in the parks. When I first moved here, the construction wall for Star Wars, that was...
Yeah.
That was the art, was Vader's shuttle. And I remember pointing it out in videos, being like, that's Vader's shuttle.
Yeah.
Why is that taking place? Like, why is that here when it takes place in 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, that's
time
the
period?
Lambda class shuttle.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Echelon shuttle.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Imperial Stormtroopers and even like T-65 X-Wings, right?
Yeah, and like Vader walking out of the ship in some artwork, too. Yeah. Like, it's very odd. But gun to your head, would you rather see an Ahsoka show that takes place with Anakin and like he's actually Vader, but then that gets tricky too because they already know X amount of things about each other from the Clone Wars,
right?
So
I don't know, we don't want it to be like blatant every other franchise out there time travel, and we also really don't like the world between worlds Star Wars pseudo time travel that we kind of have.
Hate it
so
much.
We either want the whole series to be in that time period, or we want flashbacks, or we want just like, here's a couple episodes in that time period, here's a couple episodes in Mandalorian time period, but we don't want anything that's involved with time travel at all.
I really, really hope they don't go down. I don't think they would, but man, I really hope they don't.
I know. I don't think they would either, but I hope they don't. But that's just like what every franchise does when it gets to some point. I mean, I forgot all about it today because I've only seen these movies like once or twice a piece. But even like Men in Black went to time travel at some point. I was watching YouTube videos about it today that just popped up in my recommendations.
Back to the Future.
How dare they? But it's just all of them. Like, and I always thought they were going to do it differently in Endgame, but
it's either you go to space or you have time travel. Like Fast and Furious
is going to get time travel. They're going to get it.
Yeah. We found a
You know
portal
they
to
are.
another dimension. We can go see our family.
Yeah. Ugh, no. They're going to do that, though. They will.
I sent Tom a...
But that's okay if they do it there, because who gives a flying anything about
Dude,
that?
I can't believe anyone watches those movies. And they
Yeah.
make billions of dollars every
well,
release.
I almost sounded really stupid. It's not really time travel, but I almost said, Jurassic Park hasn't done time travel yet, but, like, it's like reverse time travel. They're bringing the dinosaurs into the present.
Hopping, talking about a conversation about how it's not possible, then doing it, figuring out in a sentence between
Jurassic
each other.
Park will get to time travel at some point. They will.
What if we travel back to the...
What if we just take the
It's just
dinosaurs
going to be the plot
back?
of Dinosaur.
Yeah, basically. Reverse dinosaur. It's
So
like
the early
writing
Cretaceous
dinosaur
period.
and back. And
Yeah.
like writing dinosaur reverse.
They're like, one's like a super nasty dinosaur. They're going to have to like
Yeah.
figure out a way to
They're
take
like,
it back
hey
to
guys,
the past. So
this
it can
is definitely
thrive.
not our dino.
Or
we have
like
to take it back.
What they would do is like, this is the last dino. We can't make any more out of the DNA. It's not, since they're genetic, we have to have actual biological material for them to mate. And this one is the last one. So we have to go back to the past and bring a dinosaur back for this one to mate with. That's
Like-
what it would be.
Why can't you just go back and bring more then? What's the
I can't just go back to last week.
that or that? Yeah, jeez. It's okay. That's the
You
point.
made it the
those-
hardest shit possible.
Right? That's the point those movies are at anyway right now. I don't think I'm gonna go see this next one because I just can't.
Oh,
The
I'm
last-
done. I tapped out
the
with
last one
Jurassic,
was so bad.
Jurassic World. I was out with
You
that.
didn't see the last one?
No.
You only saw the
God,
first.
no. Saw the
last
first
one?
new one. I just...
The
I'm out.
last new one I saw was horrible. I couldn't-
Velocicoaster is the best Jurassic Park thing other than Jurassic Park 1.
not counting the books.
I've never read the books.
Oh,
I
you
can't
gotta read the books.
comment. I know they're great.
They're amazing.
But yeah.
But
So,
I don't know what. Now that we know that Hayden's gonna be in it as Vader, what do you want?
I want...
And he's also in Obi-Wan, so it's like you don't want to have them be too similar. So what do you
Yeah.
want for both of them?
I think we just keep Ahsoka where we're at in the timeline with Ahsoka right now, pre or post Mando, looking for Ezra, and it's just flashbacks. Like, that's enough.
yeah,
Make Vader a cameo. Like, they are so scared to not put Vader in a project.
yeah,
Like, they can't not do it.
yeah.
They didn't do it in Bad Batch.
Not yet.
It's coming,
We got season 2 coming, so
but they they didn't do it. And see, when it with Obi-Wan and Rogue One, that makes sense, and it doesn't feel...
well, you know
Pun
what they're gonna
intended
do with
forced.
Bad Batch is they're gonna come face to face with Vader, and then Omega is gonna like lightsaber battle him and beat him because Vader
Because
just
they
loses to
pussified
everybody.
Vader, yep.
because he just loses to everybody.
The only thing I've heard like fan theories about that, and the only thing that kind of makes sense is that like he's getting used to being half mechanical man at that point. But we've already
like,
seen him
And at what
destroy
point,
a whole room.
yeah, and at what point are you
And
used
walk.
to it? How many
Yeah.
years does it take?
Yeah, I get the argument. I don't agree with it, but I get the argument. But to me, it just doesn't hold up.
And
It
again,
just-
some people
kind of a
sure,
cop
but
out.
like if you're a 12-year-old
losing to everybody,
guy
are you
that you're
that
fighting
badass?
against, yeah. If you're 6'5", you shouldn't lose to a 12-year-old boy if you're used to being 6'5" or not. Like, you just shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm with you. Omega's a girl. How dare you misgender
Well, she's
her?
not 12. I was just saying
Oh.
the other Padawans.
She's
that
like
have beat
12,
him.
right? How old is she?
Maybe she is. I don't
She's
know
like in
what
that.
she is.
She's in that ballpark.
She's like teen,
Do you
preteen.
care about Omega at
No.
all?
Have they made any figures of her? 'Cause if
There's
they would,
one coming.
are you gonna buy it?
No.
No.
How about Wrecker?
You did buy Wrecker, so you will buy Omega.
No,
No,
I don't like the character.
no,
I
I don't. either.
just-
I don't dislike her. It just I don't care.
Yeah, I don't need her.
No, I don't need her at all.
I'm good.
But with Ahsoka and flashbacks to Anakin, Hayden, Vader, it would be cool if it was like her talking to
Yeah.
Ezra. Ezra would be like, "Hey, Ezra, this is my old master here. Let me tell you this story about him." And then she goes into this whole backstory and like a flashback just of Anakin,
Be cool.
and
I
it
mean,
helps teach Ezra a lesson.
do you think there's any possibility of the Ahsoka show being earlier than we thought, but not Clone War? Like, what if it's original trilogy timeline, and like she's on the run from Vader?
I never thought about that. That would be cool. And then you could just have it go long enough to get you into the Mandalorian timeline, and that's when she gets Thrawn, and that's when she
And
gets
that's why
Ezra.
she's out of hiding because Vader's gone completely. He's not
Yeah.
looking for her anymore.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
could be
That's
interesting.
a good way to do it. That's a very good way to do it.
And like she's like helping out on Hoth.
Yeah.
Because didn't that kind of like are they on Hoth at the end of season 7? Or is it Ilum?
It's never been confirmed where they're at, but I think it's like a moon. So it's not Hoth, because Hoth is a planet. It's not Ilum, because Ilum's a planet. So it's just some other...
Did they say it's a moon?
Some reference does somewhere. Not in the show. Okay. Some visual reference, dictionary, something outside of the show says it.
I wish Disney had like a website you could go to that's like StarWarsCanon.com, and it's just like a straight up official encyclopedia,
like Wikipedia on steroids.
Yeah, but official.
Yeah,
like you could just type in like you could be like a search engine for just Star Wars canon.
Yeah, and
you'd be like, what planet was that? And just or like.
Well, then though, you don't have any reason to go buy all these books. So.
Well, like I don't. Yes, but I think you could also like spring interest. Like if you're like, oh, that's in a book. Oh, that'd be cool to find out more about that.
That's true.
Because a sentence is way less like, yeah, Leia was on crate. That doesn't have the same impact as reading Princess of Alderaan.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
If you just want the trivia of it,
you could use it as advertising at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, use it for the opposite of what I was saying. Be like you said, get people interested in something and be like, if you want to know more, read this book, and then you do go buy the book.
I think it would be really cool if they did something like that. I don't know if
they should do that for all the things they own. They should have an Indiana Jones one, a Marvel one. They should do that with everything.
Yeah, a Marvel one would be interesting.
Like they have, it's not official either. They have. Have you been to is it doombuggies.com? Have you heard of them?
The Haunted Mansion website. Yeah,
like they should have something like that, but they don't. That's a fan website.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
But I did not think about that. I was thinking Vader should be flashbacks, but that's not flashbacks. If we do what you're saying, that's just make it the story.
Because I mean, age-wise, like it still would work.
Yeah.
Kinda. How old was she?
She's a Torguda, so we don't even know how they age anyway.
Well, there's nothing that shows that they age slower or anything. Because she's like a teenager in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just a thought. Like I think that'd be kind of cool.
Thought.
I think it'd be cool for them to do something Disney Star Wars in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
They haven't done that yet, other than Rogue One.
But that's before the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So actually in the middle of it, actually in it.
I think it'd be cool. I think it would be
Vader Immortal is, but like that's not.
I think they're very trepidatious about doing that because they saw a lot of people. Well, not a lot, but they saw some people with their backlash to the sequels.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would do it because I don't think they want to quote mess it up. I don't think they would. I think they would do it very well.
Yeah.
But they haven't done. I'm not thinking about. They haven't done anything since Disney bought them that's in the timeline.
Just Vader Immortal. I think that's like it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's still prequel-y though. I think that's before A New Hope. I'm pretty sure it is.
I think you're right. Actually,
yeah, that's still before A New Hope. So they have done nothing.
Nothing in the original trilogy.
In between the very first second of the New Hope film and the end of Return of the Jedi.
Not true.
Aside from comics and whatnot.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I mean, it counts, but that's not what I'm talking about.
They don't think it counts.
Disney hasn't. The video game, Battlefront 2, takes place at the Battle of Endor.
True.
Right as it's doing it.
But that's mostly at the end of Battle of Endor. Mostly.
There's nothing that's taking place during the main storyline of the original trilogy.
Yeah, there's not a single thing that happens between.
It's a bummer.
The episodes 4, 5, and 6 at all. Now, they could. I think they're going to at some point. For sure, the Halcyon will be original trilogy some days, and some days it'll be...
That would be very...
Sequel trilogy.
That would be very awesome.
That'll open the door for one day, because I think we all kind of agree that one day Galaxy's Edge will change. I don't know when, I don't know to what, but we think that'll change too.
I think it would be easy to do it. I mean, you really would just have to change a few animatronics out.
Yeah. It's basically
you have to change Hux and Kylo and Finn. And Rey would have to be...
Rey's a hologram. So that's just a different projection.
Different video, yeah. Just have Vi Marati do it. Leia sent me.
That's what they should do.
That's what they were showing in those, like... Remember in the original...
TV commercials, the advertisements.
It was Vi. Which was cool, because I thought that's what we were going to get. Yeah, and I was very surprised.
That makes you, pay attention to this character in the land that a lot of people thought was just, like, a fan dressing up as Star Wars.
They're so scared to, like, commit to unknown stuff. It's like, well, how do you think we... Mando was unknown at one point. Grogu was unknown. You have to let these characters flourish.
But at the same time, though, you have to feature Rey on the ride. You can't not have your main character on your ride.
She doesn't do anything.
I know that she already basically isn't in it right now. So if you took her out of that hologram, it'd be like, where is Rey?
Would you really? I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care. But all the 12-year-old girls that love Rey, they'd be like,
I don't think they would think about it if she wasn't there. I don't think you would watch that and be like, wait, Rey's not in that? It's not a Jedi story.
Well, that's true.
It's a resistance story.
Yeah.
She's not the leader of the resistance.
No.
So I'm like,
Vi is higher up than her.
Yeah.
Vi and Poe both are.
Yeah. I don't think you need it.
No.
I think it'd be just fine without her. And I love Rey. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But
we-
yeah, interesting. There's some cool stuff coming out, man.
Yeah. Are we going to see Vi in the Star Cruiser?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope
for
so.
sure. I would almost bet that.
I hardly ever see her anymore on Batuu at all.
I think they got.
sad.
I think they're training for Star Cruiser. If you want my honest opinion,
That makes sense.
I
Okay.
think that's
But
what
it's
they're
sad.
doing.
It's like I just never see her. You know what? You just see a ton of stormtroopers. That's like all you see anymore.
Yeah,
It's really sad.
I think they're training characters for the Star Cruiser. I really do.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to do a lot of play testing leading up to that. So all the people that they have that would be on Batuu are gonna be at the Star Cruiser.
Yeah. I bet they're testing right now.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
right this second, but like this week and next week.
they're definitely testing. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's coming up so soon. Like you
So
got to be. Because
you
you're
gotta be
basically,
ready.
it's basically done. There,
it's 3 months away, man.
Yeah.
4 months away.
Yeah, it's basically done. They're just waiting on a few probably technological things, maybe the videos.
I was talking to, I think it was either Holly or Tom. What are they going to do when stuff doesn't go right?
Well,
'Cause
they'll
it's
have to
Disney.
have 18 backup plans for every scenario. You'll have to. Because, I mean, if you don't...
What if, like, big stuff doesn't work? Like,
you
what
got to
if,
have backup plans.
what if you have, like, you're up next for the lightsaber training and you only get one shot at it and then you don't get to do it because it broke? Like, what is that going to look like?
Well, if that's the case, then it's not one shot, I bet. It'll be like, okay, we're going to move your dinner to now. You eat dinner now, and then you come back in 2 hours and do lightsaber now. Like, I
really hope that
they'll
it's
rotate.
24 hours. And I think that's something that it will be, but they haven't talked about it yet. I don't think
They haven't
could-
talked about it publicly.
Publicly. That's what I mean. But like,
you
I don't
can't-
think
they
they've
can't
announced
lock you
it
in
yet.
your hotel room.
No, and I'm wondering how much of it is going to be available to you.
Yeah,
Like, can I just go at 2 a.m. and go do lightsaber training?
yeah.
Like, that'd be so sick.
But then again, you and 50 other people are going to want to.
Yeah.
So it's like, virtual queue, get a virtual queue and go back to your room.
If there's virtual queue for anything, I'm going to be livid as fuck.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You think there will be?
If it gets to that point where it's like free roam, you can go do whatever you want right now, but everyone wants
How
to do the same
structured do you
two
want it to
things.
be?
Oh, I don't want it. Well, I shouldn't say at all. I want it to be minimally structured. Where it's like, okay, your dinner's at 4:30. Your other reservation, the Cantina is a different one, isn't it? Like the bar is a different reservation? No?
Well, the bar should just be a bar. I mean,
Yeah.
at any given time, there should only be 400 people at a time in that building, which is nothing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I wish they would have done 50 rooms.
What all is like something that has to be scheduled? Like dinner has to be scheduled.
Lunch, dinner, meals, that kind of stuff.
Meals, well,
Story stuff has to be scheduled.
right, but that can
And
take
that's gonna
place
be very
during your
weird.
meal. Like you could be eating dinner and all
I
of a
don't
sudden
think that's
like
what they're
something
gonna do.
busts in.
I think you're gonna like gather around after dinner and look out the window and shit's gonna go down.
I don't know. That's not very organic to me.
That's what I was kind of getting at. Like, how are they
Yeah.
gonna have that flow and feel natural?
Yeah. And now like the shuttles going back and forth to Batuu, that happens in a time window. So you don't have to get on the first one at 12:30. You can get on one later at 1:45 if you want to. So that's not super structured. And I don't think you have to get on the shuttle at all. You can stay on the Halcyon if you want to.
I'm so torn. I'm probably gonna ask you if it's worth it.
And
to
that's
go-
something I can tell you spoiler free.
Just be
I
like,
can just be like, yes, something happened. Or no, nothing happened. I just ate a Ronto.
Because if you just go eat Ronto and go to Docking Bay 7, I will stay on the ship for
Yeah.
real.
No, yeah, I don't blame you.
And because if nothing goes down, there's no
Yeah.
reason for me to go there.
No. And if I get there and I see that after I'm eating my Ronto, it's like, all right, I still have 4 more hours. No, I'm going to get on the shuttle and go back.
Yeah,
Because like,
I'm not gonna sit there and sit on Batuu where I
No.
can go any day of the week
Yeah.
and do the same exact thing
It's going to be a little bit
for not
jarring.
$5,000.
For not $5,000. Not yet.
Not yet.
But it'll be a
God,
little
it's
bit
coming.
jarring to be in the Halcyon and then go down to Batuu anyway. Because you're going to be super immersed. I mean, I don't think we're going to see a lot of people in like random T-shirts and stuff. Especially early on in the Halcyon.
It's gonna be a lot of hardcore fans
Yeah.
trying to.
Yeah, the first like 6
I'm
months.
bummed we're going in May because it's gonna be hot, and I
Yeah.
was kind of hoping to wear my pilot costume, but
Ooh.
whatever.
But you're not going to go to the planet anyway, most likely. You should pack it just in case.
Oh, I'm gonna pack it. I just
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping to just do it all to the nines, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. It's gonna be. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up,
Yeah.
and then in just a few days, November 11th. Is that what it is? Disney Plus Day.
12th, November 12th.
November 12th.
Yep.
Disney Plus Day. We're gonna get our Boba Fett trailer.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna
I
do a
was
trailer reaction, so don't watch it without us.
Okay.
We're gonna all get together and do a trailer
I was
reaction.
already gonna say, like, what Star Wars is coming out on November 12th?
There's
I didn't know
some
something
Boba
was.
Fett behind the helmet documentary.
You're right. I did see that.
Yeah, and then there's some other stuff they've announced. I think we're gonna get a. They haven't said this, but I think you're gonna get a visual tease of Obi-Wan. I think they're gonna save a trailer for Celebration,
Yeah.
but I think they're gonna show you something. They have you captive and already looking at Star Wars shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a flash of him.
Especially if it's something we're not expecting.
Yeah.
That'll get you talking. Be like, hey, I didn't know this
You
was a
wanna
thing.
break
Did
the
you
internet?
see this? Like,
Everyone's already paying attention
yeah.
because they want to see Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
At the end of that trailer, be like, and coming soon to Disney Plus.
Yep. And then just show, like,
Just show
him messing with his mustache.
or like
something.
a lightsaber
that's all you gotta
coming
do.
on, something
Yeah.
like him standing there just black, and then
Yeah. That's all you
Obi-Wan.
need.
Come on,
That's all you need.
is that what it's called? It's called Obi-Wan, right?
Is it just Kenobi?
Kenobi, that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's just Kenobi. Because they use the hilt
That's right.
as the eye
Yeah,
in Kenobi.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, Evan, this is one of the shorter shows we've ever done, dude.
That's okay. I
I'm
wasn't
so
really
tired.
that tired until I got here. I think you radiated
I'm so sorry.
tiredness upon
I'm
me.
sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so beat, dude. Like
I always make
I
fun
almost,
of my...
I
like,
truly almost texted you and like, let's just not do this tonight.
no.
But
We
I
both
look forward to
this
these.
so much.
I look forward to it, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, I meant to ask you before we leave. The other figures, were there any of those other figures that you're interested in or that you're going to get?
The Phantom Menace Mace Windu sounds intriguing. I think there's a Phantom Menace
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Or is it Attack of the Clones?
That was Attack of the Clones, I think, and then Phantom Menace
Was
Anakin.
Anakin. I'm kind of intrigued
It's
by
Padawan.
both of those.
And did you know that the temple guard, the Jedi temple training, whatever the fuck it's called, Trials of the Temple at
Oh,
Studios?
Yeah.
Those are actually the Padawan lightsabers from Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I never knew that until like 6 weeks ago.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh shit, they are
Yeah.
modeled after that. Like that's what they're modeled after.
Yeah, and they need to do a legacy version of those and sell them. They sell plastic ones.
It.
Yeah, just do a legacy version of those.
Is there a legacy hilt that you would be like, fuck yeah?
Oh, I've got a big list of them. I'll pick one.
That you'd be like, absolutely.
I'll pick one now because we
I'm
need
like
to do
to
that.
the point where you're like, I'm calling out of work. I'm going to get it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll save some of them. Well, most of them. I'll give you one now, but I'll save like the best one for that list. But maybe that could be our top 10 soon. It's just like a top 10 legacy hilts that we need. Because we did Black Series helmets that we need. And I think I've thought of a lot more since then. Where the
I want
frick is
another.
my
I want a
list?
new tiki mug from Oga's.
That'd be cool. Do a top 10 tiki mug we need. Would yours be Qui-Gon, you think? If
Oh
that
yeah,
happened?
dude, absolutely.
I am trying to think. Looking at my list here. Well, I think this is a good one because it ties into what we said. You didn't get to see it for the Galaxy's Edge VR, but the High Republic section, I would love to see Addy Sun Z's lightsaber. Like, if that dropped at docks tomorrow, I would go at 6 a.m.
What does it look like? Is it cool? I mean, obviously.
It's cool, but it's not, like, iconic. But the fact that it's from Galaxy's Edge and
It's
VR.
the first
and
Galaxy's Edge canon
I mean,
lightsaber.
she's not from Galaxy's Edge or anything, but she's
Are there any Jedi from Batu?
not
High
that we know
Republic.
of
I
yet.
bet money we get that in the High Republic at some
Oh,
point.
yeah, for sure. Yep.
What, did that book ever come out about the girl who was like planet hopping? They did like one of those short YouTube things about her, and then I've never heard anything else about the book.
I don't think I know that.
By the way, I'm finishing that goddamn book this week.
Wait, which one?
The one I'm still on that I haven't listened to another paragraph of.
The High Republic one?
Yeah.
Wait, is it Into the Dark? Or did you finish that one already?
No, I haven't. I literally haven't
Dang.
even tried.
I don't blame you, though, because I'm in that same boat. You're further along in that same boat
Isn't
than I
it
am.
boring as
but
shit?
I'm just not motivated to
At
read.
all. There's nothing about it
I
that's
couldn't
compelling.
put the other two down.
Me either.
Light of the
Me
Jedi,
too.
I couldn't put down.
I could not.
I couldn't
this
put
one,
down.
It's like even it's
Why
like
am I
it's
blanking
Martian
on the
Row
name?
heavy, and you would think that would be awesome, and then it's just like nothing
And
goes on.
His like
They're on the ice planet.
He's like top 5 in command. Is force sensitive, so like you think that would be awesome?
Nothing. It's so boring. And then there's a meeting on. How far are you into the book? I'm only like 30 minutes listening into it.
I'm only like 7 chapters.
I'm going to be on the road for like 4 hours this weekend. I'm going to try to knock a lot of it out. But I just can't. I just can't.
Why am I blinking? What's the name of the second book? You got Into the Dark, which is Claudia Gray's, which is my favorite Star Wars book of all time.
Is it really? That's your favorite one?
Here it is. Into the Dark.
Light of the Jedi.
Light of the Jedi is Charles Soule's. That's my favorite. I lied. I lied. I'm looking at my list. Yeah, Light of the Jedi, which is Charles Soule, and then Into the Dark, which is Claudia Gray. I could not put those two down.
I couldn't even put down the Race to whatever Crash Tower Point or whatever it's called.
I haven't got to those two yet.
It's fine. It was a good story.
Test of Courage I have to read and Race to Crash Point Tower.
There's one character in there where you're like, damn, okay, interested.
Okay. I have both of those to read. So if I ever get through Rising Storm,
that's it. Dude, I thought it was just me.
Yeah, no.
I literally can't focus. It's so goddamn boring.
And his chapters are only like 6 pages long.
And it's still boring as shit.
It's not the Claudia Gray issue of 85-page chapters.
Oh, God. All right, I thought it was just me.
No, but I'm not motivated to read it. I will get through it, and I don't think it's bad. It's just it doesn't captivate me the same way.
I just feel like I'm waiting for something to happen. And like, something's going to happen, right? And then like, I just feel like nothing's happening. Yeah. And it's just like, can we get somewhere?
Yeah, each chapter almost seems like a retread of the last.
Yeah. And it's like I don't know if you...
you already told me.
What's the guy, Belzetifar?
Yeah.
With the dog kind of thing?
Yep.
Like, it just like... Something happens, and then
he's like
then it just stays
and he's like
happening.
The Charhound sensed that something was happening, so it came to my side. It's like, yep, it did that last chapter.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then what? Oh, then you stayed in that battle, and like, it's so boring.
I'm looking at it, and it's actually it's my 8th favorite Star Wars book out of the 10 that I've read. So I've finally cracked the 10, but it's number 8 for me. Like, it's how many books I've read, still the worst one to this day is that goddamn Canto Bight book. I haven't read that one, but for me it's Aftermath. That's my.
I don't even know what the reviews are. Would it be so funny if like that's people's
Everyone's
favorite?
Like, it's the best. It's a 10 out of 10.
It's so fucking dumb. It's
I
literally like a story about a massage therapist. Literally, a story about a guy who wins a vacation from like a radio station to go. And then a story about these like twin sisters that say they're from a different universe that are wine collectors. It's the dumbest shit. And
see, like some of that stuff, if you say it, sometimes weird stuff like that works. Like in Force Collector, when you're like they're in high school and there's a bully in lockers, I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. But then you read it and you're like, no, it's good. I read it, I'm like, no, it's really good.
Force Collector is awesome. It's a great book.
Force Collector is in mine. It's my top 5. So
it's probably my top 5 too. That book was really cool.
Yeah,
and it was very well done, and it kind of was going the way you thought it was going to go, and then you're like, okay, not really.
That's a really good way.
And as the observer reading the book, you don't know that he doesn't get that there's 2 Skywalkers.
Yeah,
which was such a cool.
And you get it. You're like, no, dude, there's 2.
That's 2.
You're like yelling at the screen almost when you're watching TV or a movie.
I loved it.
But that's a like masterclass in how to connect many, many things.
Yes.
And so is the High Republic. The High Republic is connecting many, many things really well.
To me, it's not. Yes, connecting, but like for me, it's just cohesive.
Yeah.
It makes the universe feel like a universe.
Yeah.
And not like just these random planets you pop in and out of. Like it feels like the universe, and especially in High Republic, it feels like it's one and it's all together. And you can tell that when the Empire gets there, shit gets squirrely.
Yeah.
And they really fuck it all up.
Yeah, big time.
But yeah. All right, man. Good show. Thank you everyone for listening. Follow me on Instagram at The Brad Ventures. Check out YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Brad Ventures. Evan, where can they find you if they want to look at your beautiful face?
You can find my face. I don't know if it's beautiful. And as well as my little cat's face, which is also related to our buddy Tom because it started with him. But I'm posting more of him because I love him. But you can find all that on Instagram.
Jack is one of the cutest cats I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, he's adorable.
I'm not even a cat guy.
He didn't want me to come here tonight. So if you would have said, hey, don't come over, Jackson would have been like, thank you, stay. He did not. He kept yelling at me. So, but yeah, it'll be all over Instagram, Evan T. Boucher.
Beautiful.
And then when I go to the Halcyon, finally jump to my YouTube if you want Halcyon stuff. It'll be spoilers, though.
Check out his video on the Wampa Stampa.
Yeah. Don't watch my Kite Tales video because apparently it has a copyright claim because the music is so damn loud.
Just gotta edit the music out.
It's too late. I already posted it. I don't care.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on the next show. Till then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.
Always.
Rise, Jedi Knight. That's my Tom impression.
Tom, was that you?
Kyle's here, and he says, "Rise, Jedi Knight."
And then Tom would
Fuck
say,
you, Kyle.
Kyle. Yep, there you go.